So the long-awaited and very controversial Attack on Titan live-action Japanese movie. Where do I begin with this film? I'm going to tell you right now, I have two different perspectives on this because I'm looking at it from two different sides. I'm looking at it as an adaptation, but at the same time as a standalone movie. Like, I'm going to kind of give you my thoughts on how it translates from manga and anime to this movie, but then also if a casual person was to walk in and check it out, how would they feel about it as well? Now, starting with the adaptation side, I will tell you right now, it is a pretty damn bad adaptation. Granted, they did keep some of the core elements in there. Obviously, they have the Titans, they have the maneuver gear, they have some of our favorite characters in there as well, but the mischaracterization of some of these characters is one thing that from the get-go makes me like go, what? Like, Mikasa starts off as a kind of timid, shy, not brave chick, which is the polar opposite from any version of Mikasa we've seen prior to the whole incident that she had when she was like younger or whatever. But like in the beginning of the series, which is because this movie pretty much goes up to the first time when we see the big first Titan fight with a big revelation about a certain person being a certain Titan or whatever, because this movie goes up to basically the big part where everyone was like, oh my gosh. But it does take certain elements from, like, I want to say the first half of season 1 of Attack on Titan. It pretty much does a lot of content. Like, it switches scenes around and kind of has different things happen before they're supposed to happen. And I mean, Armin, granted, he doesn't have the blonde hair. He's kind of on character, but it's still, sometimes I even get confused between him and Eren, because one of the things that the anime and the manga does well is, regardless of what you want to say, the simple changes as having different hair colors really helps you identify that's Armin. He's the dude with the short blonde hair that kind of looks a little feminine or whatever. In the movie, it's sometimes like a little confused because, you know, it's just hard to differentiate sometimes. Eren starts off as a dude that can't hold a job. He still has some of the qualities of Eren from the manga that, you know, he wants to get out of these walls, he wants to go out and explore or whatever, but he even starts off as a little like D-bag. It's like, what? You can't hold a job, you don't, So it already throws out some of that stuff. Not to mention the fact that this movie does not have Levi. It has a character that stands as a wannabe Levi, but it doesn't have Levi in it. Some of the characters that did a decent job, I will say, at portraying the character and the actor for Hanji did a good job. Character for Sasha, Potato Girl, good job. Like, they really played into the whole comedy of her constantly wanting to eat, and it worked very well. I mean, I had a good laugh, and it really felt like, okay, that's Potato Girl, yeah. And likewise with Hanji, the eccentric, psychotic shit that she says and does, yeah, okay, that's the Hanji that I know. But just the direction that the movie takes, honestly, like, it switches things around. In the Attack on Titan world, there's not much technology. They ride on horses, they don't have bombs, this, that, and the third. And as an adaptation, they're riding in like big ass fucking vehicles. There's apparently a big ass bomb there. It's like they added things that obviously we're not in the manga and anime, and it's for a reason, because it's supposed to be this hopeless situation. Like, you know, all we have is horses, we barely have any technology, how we're supposed to do this, and they're riding around in big ass tanks throughout the movie. So that's gonna make you feel like, what the fuck? And honestly, putting it plain and blunt, if you're a big fan of Attack on Titan, either the manga or the anime, and you come into this movie, a big portion of it you're going to be looking at like, this isn't the Attack on Titan that I know and love. I'm going to give you a quick spoiler alert right now, so if you haven't seen the movie, just skip over the next like 5 to 10 seconds of this video. In the beginning of the movie, Mikasa apparently dies, and then she comes back with a massive changed character development. End of spoiler. And with that particular character, it's like, when the fuck did this happen, and why are they doing it like this? And another big portion of Mikasa being mischaracterized is because eventually she does become somewhat of the Mikasa that we like, you know, the badassery or whatever, but a big portion of her character in the anime and manga is Eren. I love Eren, I must protect Eren. And there's a part in the movie where she looks at Eren and he's in deep shit. He's there like bleeding out of his fucking leg, looking like he's about to die, and it's either rescue him or go kill this Titan. And she goes to kill the Titan. That is not Mikasa at all. So yet again, just going into it as an adaptation, it is pretty damn bad at doing the job. It just doesn't, like, it has certain elements of the manga, like certain portions, like when the dude commits suicide, it has that, but it's kind of in a different way. When that one dude has his body chopped in half and his girlfriend is like, somebody save him, because she's losing her mind. They have that part in there, but it just is in different scenarios, and it's not exactly the way it was done in the anime and manga, which granted, they had to change certain things because, you know, they're gonna just use plain Japanese actors and not gonna, you know, switch out and have, you know, Germans and whatnot. So they had to make some changes and whatnot, but it's like you have certain portions of the manga and anime, but it just doesn't mesh well, and it feels like a lot of things are left unexplained. Going into the CG effects, some of them look good. Some of the big action pieces, especially some of the stuff around, I believe it's episode like 6 to 8, somewhere around there, where we have a big guy revelation of a Titan coming and fucking dudes up. That actually looked really good. CG for the Colossus looked pretty damn good too. But then a lot of the times the random Titans is like, they just look like naked Japanese people walking with makeup on. Sometimes it just really does, and it's like, you can see that it doesn't really mesh well. Like, the effects, sometimes it's really good, and then sometimes it's like, it kind of looks like it definitely could have used more work. And again, I don't know what budget they were working with, but they don't have the big Hollywood budget to do this. Now, going into the movie as just either a casual, maybe you've seen a little bit of Attack on Titan, or you've never seen or heard of Attack on Titan up until now, I'd say you will get a kick out of it. I say you can enjoy it, because I actually seen the movie with a couple of people that have never seen Attack on Titan in their lives, and they got a kick out of it. They said some parts were boring, but there were some cool parts to it. So I'd say, as just going into it without any prior knowledge of the series, you might enjoy this film. I think you'll have a good time. There's a lot of nice action pieces. There's a couple different things that they really get you excited, and you know, some of the characters, again, Sasha, Hanji, is like, oh shit, because they still kind of stay true to the core characters, but there's a lot of characters that are missing in action. And one of the big things about this film that kind of drove me a little bit like, what? Besides the mischaracterization of certain people, there's a weird love triangle there with the wannabe Levi, Mikasa, and Eren, and it just feels bizarre to be happening, because not only just prior knowledge, it's just like in the middle of this giant apocalyptic invasion of Titans, they're like squabbling over romance. And to be honest with you, as an adaptation, I'd give this movie maybe a 4 out of 10 as an adaptation. It just really doesn't cut the mustard. It's honestly kind of a bad adaptation. It's not on Dragon Ball Evolution level, where like Dragon Ball Evolution as an adaptation is a 1 out of 10. So there's that. It's definitely far above that, but that's not saying much, because Dragon Ball Evolution is shit. As a regular standalone movie, I would say it's fine. It's a decent movie. You'll get a kick out of it, and you can enjoy it. And if you can look past the parts of what I previously mentioned of some of the established content from Attack on Titan, the manga and anime, then you might be able to have a good time with this one. I'd say maybe 6.5, 6-ish, as far as just it being a movie. And yeah, honestly, disappointed in a sense, because I thought, okay, you have the creator Hajime Isayama involved. You have the Japanese people that, you know, they're really close to the content, more closer than we'll be, because it's a part of their culture, manga and anime. So you would think that it would be just straight up, this is it. And it definitely fell short of my expectations, and I think it will translate to a lot of people as well. But if you've seen the movie, let me know what you think. Did you think that it was kind of like Attack on Titan? Did you like some of the changes that they made? And if you haven't seen it, based on what I've told you, that it just changes a lot of different things, does that turn you off? Do you not want to see the film? And your overall thoughts of this one? Honestly, I came into this one with a very open mind, because I heard a lot of terrible things about this film, and I'll say again, as an adaptation, it's bad. As a standalone movie, it's decent. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.